Other segment with a severely warped door, I did in fact, it's right over here. This was a door that was very straight on every edge except for this upper corner. Now, what I may be doing is coming back. It depends on whether or not this door continues to change shape. I did this with screws so that it would be adjustable, and I planed that piece of wood thin enough that it's still semi-flexible. I also used a stain and oil finish. It's not a shellac or polyurethane on there. The oil is to keep the wood moist enough yet displace water that it remains flexible, that it won't get brittle on me for at least a little while. Over here, this was scavenged lumber that I planed down to a relatively uniform sizes, sanded a little bit, put some stain on, and again an oil based finish, not a polyurethane finish. I didn't want it to dry out. I needed it to remain a little flexible. But this door has been in some damp weather and not changed shape, which means that the wood on this has become relatively stabilized. One of the bad things that's happening, because this went, I believe, from the Mediterranean to the Pacific Northwest, is all of this discoloration here is actually pretty normal with the age. Okay, this thing's probably you know, got an age. It's measured in hundreds of years, and it had been an interior door at a medieval place. Now it's an exterior door. It doesn't have a lot of time left before we need to do some real chemical protection on it, because one of the things that started to happen here is these black spots are mold. Okay, that's a Pacific Northwest thing. That's not a Mediterranean thing. But here, because I felt that this wood was finished with any warpage or change of shape, I went ahead and nailed this extra trim piece in. So that's all nailed in. Now, the door has been retrofitted with a modern lock system. For security purposes, I'm not going to show a whole lot of details on that. What I am going to show, though, is that with this added trim piece, what we've got is a door closure, you know, well, okay, so it bounces a little bit because we still have a rubberized trim in there. But what I was shooting for on this, because we have a good solid wooden stop here, with this added piece, is we've got a good tight fit, and it's nailed in place, so it's impossible for somebody to stick a door shim in here and jimmy this door. That has now become impossible. It's in keeping with the design of everything. Obviously the wood finish is a little varied, but that's normal for this type of application. But by just putting this trim strip around the outside of the door, in addition to the regular door frame having its regular little bit of overlap, it doesn't look like it's had a security modification, but in reality it's not just a additional bit of weatherproofing. I mean, that could have been accomplished with just the foam stuff. But what we've done is we've added a layer of security, which is going to make it impossible for somebody to shim or jimmy the door. The other thing is, if somebody were to attempt, let's say, a more tactical entry on a door, obviously we've got some things to worry about where the location of the lock set and handle would tell somebody where to aim, let's say a breaching gun of some sort. That would clue them in on where to aim a breaching gun at the lock side, but there is no clue where to aim a breaching gun on the hinge side. Okay, there's no indication of where the hinge could be. There's no light leakage or anything like that that would indicate that, which means they can't jimmy or breach this side of the door. Over here, if there's some additional things, you know, like an inside only deadbolt, which would mean that you can buy a lot of time on a door like this without changing its original style from the outside. And in fact, by using kind of a retro style lock on the inside, we're not overly altering the style on the inside either. So that's just a good basic simple hidden security and insulation modification on these types of doors. Just adding a trim piece that gives you good, tight, firm fit. You just kind of fit it up there, nail it in place all the way around, and you've got a better fitted door, especially when you're using a door and a door frame that were manufactured in 2 different countries.